series, we're going to take a little bit of a different direction than we did last year. These types of events have become more popular, and we had a lot of success with getting people trained and involved. And what we did last year was maybe had more people come on at the same time and try to present and run through a lot of the different products and so forth at one time. And the approach we're going to take this year is maybe go more product line and company vendors and subject matter as we go versus trying to push everything into one session and repeating it. So with this training modules, then you'll see us do an overview today with some introductions of the companies, the scientists and the sales reps that help us as a company, NewFields Ag and Lomutech. And then as we go through the steps, we'll talk about the nitrogen fixers and our planter box treatments and methods for being able to apply these types of treatments through a series of trainings over 4 or 5 Wednesdays. And obviously we'll record those events and then have those as available. So my name is Michael Musselman. I'm one of the principal owners of Lomutech and NewFields Ag. And we have many guests on today, including other owners such as Brian Tolley, our sales reps that we've been able to bring on, business development managers, Chris Roberts, Dan Johnson, and also Amanda Hill and John Buck out in the eastern part of the country. So what's exciting for us is that we've been able to bring on sales reps to help us as we go, to move us ahead. And thanks to you, our valued dealers and distributors, for helping make a success in what we're doing here as we go forward. So appreciate all the early orders, the yield information that we've been receiving. That's been very positive, and the orders that we've been receiving are surpassing, what we've seen last year as we've gone forward. The dust product performed very well again this year. I think we're on over 8 million acres, and that's really set the stage for us to go into these planter box treatment and these dry biologicals. As we go through the conversation, if you want to raise your hand or in the chat or type in a question, we'll make an effort to get to those. And for this first meeting, I want to give a little bit of overview of where we see ourselves in the marketplace. We'll maybe not be quite as product focused this morning, but to just kind of set the stage for those of you who've worked with us, and for those of you who are new resellers or are potentially considering to add some or many of the products that we're offering to the lineup. And one of the important things that we take a look at is we've done a good work to put together a product portfolio that gives you an opportunity to go to your customers and work with them in many ways, rather than just a one product focus. We've worked strongly to establish products that, such as nitrogen fixers like the Invita and Phenom. You've got the B4 product for potassium uptake. You've got products like Ion FX, which help with stress management, temperature of the plant, phosphorus solubilization. And so that's been a good goal of ours to bring in options. And the other options that we look at are ways to apply, whether that's planter box, in furrow, foliar, on seed, those kinds of things. And so as we go through this, as we go through this, I think you'll find that we have a lot of solutions, and there's many ways that we can help. And the encouragement I have for you is to take a look at them and find the things that work for you, in your operation and that you think you can bring some leadership to your customers with. So looking at innovations in your fields, I just want to bring up kind of start things out as a brief overview, looking in it into why we're in the business and where we're at, and then a little later, as we get into halfway through, what I want to do is bring on some of our key scientists and support reps and commercial agronomy people that's in our network. And so we know that if you look at this slide I bring up, farmers are looking for guidance regarding how biological solutions fit into their cropping system. I don't think that's a question. I know that's a statement, and I know that statement's for true when you look at the interactivity that we've gotten at the farm shows, when you look at what our current resellers are saying when they go to the field. And this is a great opportunity for us to engage in this discussion. And the scientists and the agronomists and the quality manufacturing facilities that we brought on to help back us up has given us a position to help, and I would say a strong leadership position. We know that there are other companies out in the marketplace, and our focus is bringing education to our dealers and customers. We want to know the why. I was at the farm show yesterday, and a farmer came in and was talking about one of his suppliers selling him a product that was for putting in furrow, and he really wasn't sure what it did. He wondered if he was overpaying. He wondered if he needed to put it on as many times as he should. And he's someone that has high yields, and I asked him a few questions and he couldn't answer them. Now maybe he could have at the time when the person had talked to him about the products that he was using. One of our encouragements to you as resellers is take some time and know what you need to know. Some of us know more than we probably need to know. And I've learned with working with farmers that there's the range, right? There's the range of the farmers that want to know everything. And there's the other side that really don't want to know a lot. They just want to know that you know. And then there's the guys and ladies that work in the middle there that say, I need to know enough so I can make a good decision. And so you'll see as we go forward in our trainings and in our conversations with you that we really want the farmer to bring to us maybe some of those things that he's already doing. And I kind of liken this in the seed business in regards to, it's not a good practice to recommend the same hybrid from 4 different companies that we know has the same genetic lines for a guy to plant and not know what he's doing. And so please think about us as we take a consultative approach. And also our encouragement is that you over time can learn those kinds of things. The engaging discussion, I think, will help with the confidence of the farmer and you as we go forward. And what I want to compliment you all for taking the time to be here is that there are some consultants and retailers and agronomists that are taking a wait and see approach to biologicals. And we decided not to do that. And the opportunity we have in a marketplace is very good for us because this side of the business, as it grows very dramatically, is one that we can participate in, and we're not necessarily, in a sense, locked out of, right, as we go forward. In terms of it's not traits, it's not chemistry that take lots of regulatory approval and maybe years and tens or hundreds of millions of dollars to bring about. And so some of the things we're doing is working on the climate smart technologies. Obviously, we look at these nutrient management and nutrient use efficiency types of products as part of that help with the climate smart technologies. And as we go forward, we know that kind of nutrient efficiency management story and bringing the reasons why to these farmers is going to be critical. And that's a place that you get to operate as a reseller of Low Tech and NewFields Ag. We like to focus also on soil health, and I just throw this slide in here that someone else had sent to me. It's kind of a fun one. A lot of us in the ag business are learning about soil health and fertility and wanting to make things better for the farmer and the soil. And it's kind of a fun one that there are people, whether you go around because we're passionate, that maybe don't always want to hear our story, but we're on the right track with that soil health and nutrient management, nutrient use efficiency story. And I think we've got to pick it up and help carry the water with that as we go forward, and continue to promote stewardship of the soil and the biological activity. And the interesting thing is we all know that this market is expanding rapidly, and we're going to be in it, and we're going to grow with it. And this is an interesting slide. And what I like to show the concept of is that farmers want proof of concept maybe before trying biologicals. But here's the interesting thing in this survey from AgWeb, 4% of farmers say, I don't see a benefit. So that means 96% of farmers could potentially see a benefit. So that's most farmers. If you look up here, 21% say, I don't know. I just don't know about what should I do. Okay, so 1 in 4 maybe really questioning it or wondering. But if you go over here on the right side, 35% say, so that's 1/3 say they're interested in looking at it, and 41% say I need to know more before using. So hence, if you go back to my earlier comment and slide, is that farmers are wanting to know, and they're wanting people to bring that good information to them. And this is the opportunity that we have to go beyond just an NPK seed traits chemistry type of discussion with them as we go forward. So this is my encouragement to you all and to us, is that the farmer, 3 out of 4 farm gates are open on average for us to drive in there and sit down with them and say, let's talk about what you're doing now, and let's talk about the future of farming with biologicals. And I find that rather exciting. I've been fortunate enough, as many of you have, to be on the front side of bringing new technologies like Roundup Ready, or different traits, or different equipment like at Precision Planting, E-sets and 2020s, and other things like row cleaners. And there's many innovations that have come into the market over my career, and I continue to like to enjoy doing that. And I see this is a way we're on the front side of innovation to help the farmer. And the space is not going to get less crowded; it's going to get more crowded. And we have an opportunity to be out there and make a difference as we go forward. So looking at a discovery process, so us and our vendors that we work with, our manufacturers, kind of look at this very similar. When we look at bringing the process or bringing products out, we want to know, does it work, right? So this is a slide or something you could print out, and we'll make these available to help you have that conversation with the farmer. In that, our goal is to know, does it work? Is there agronomic and is there yield types of benefits to these products that we're sitting down at the table and talking to them about? And very critically, we want to know, is there return on investment? And with the prices of commodities today, obviously the ROI opportunity is greater. And farmers are often willing to look at new innovations when they're in an affluency, in a sense of whether it's yield and or whether it's the price. And then the other question becomes is, can a farmer use it in the operation? And so we could have the greatest thing on earth, but if you can't get it applied, then that's not operational. Okay. So Um, the products that we've looked at are environmentally sound, and they've been shown to improve plant health and function and show performance. And one of the other companies that we talked about has a slide, that we've talked to has a slide that they show. They're in the biological fermentation type of business, and they have a how should I say this? They show that about 70% of microbes that are potentially available to be used in agriculture are still up on the shelf, right? So you got this bank of microbes that aren't able to be brought off the shelf because in general, it's an operational type of concern or a problem, meaning you have this nice microbe that'll do something in the test tube or the lab or in its own setting where it's known to be, but it's difficult to get that into a commercial product to be viable. And for instance, interestingly, the Invita product, the Gluconacetabacter diazotrophicus product, took probably 20 or 25 years after discovery on sugarcane in Asia for the scientists to get it to where we can now deliver it, right? And now we can deliver it in for our foliar and do it safely and get great CFU count and get yield and ROI types of results. So keep that in mind, as we go through that we're, in terms of working with you, we've done good work and the companies have done good work to set these products up to be viable in a package for you to take to these farmers. And a few comments here on the types of microbials, just for an understanding that we look at. Ectophytes function more outside the plant. Endophytes work in or on the plant, more or less. Some work in the roots only. Some work in other parts of the plant, up to the aerial parts of the plant. And we have soil-dwelling types of microbes that work in the soil absent of the plant. Doesn't mean they can't associate with the plant, but that would be, in a sense, native microbial activity. We operate a lot in the endophytic side of things, just to know that. And then what's also important and exciting is that there are classes of biotechnology that come from microbial fermentation. So I'll call these additional derivatives. Steve Visted may or someone else might have an additional way of describing or talking about those. But instead of taking the live microbial to provide that that constituent, whether it's enzymatic type of material or an RNA, these kinds of things, we just take and ferment that product, harvest that material, and then can provide it in a form that can be used by the plant. So watch for those types of products as we go. Interestingly, we take a product like INFX that has a couple of microbes that actually create hormones for the plant. We can, in maybe an opposite way of the derivative, take a microbe and let it dose the plant with plant hormones rather than providing the indole acetic acids or some of those common ones that we know about. So there's the way of doing it, in a sense, both ways. And so our goal is to help in a process or operational standpoint, provide some of those solutions then where we can say that, okay, farmer needs to deliver this kind of material. Maybe he doesn't want a live microbial in this situation based upon something else he's doing. Well, let's step in with these derivatives in addition to help us with those activities and actions. The other thing to help with the conversations is thinking about products that you may already sell, right? And when we get into this space, there's a lot of products that where are they supposed to be placed? They're a liquid in furrow solution, right? Some may be foliar, and then there's some that are broadcast applications. But at times in every one of these types of applications, maybe the farmer or the product is not best for using it there for various reasons that we can get into. So when you look at this, we built a portfolio to help you go in as a seed applied treatment, either liquid or dry, a planter box or dry box treatment, and we call dust plus the inclusions, those types of products like Terracin plus dust, excuse me, soon to be our B4 product plus dust, and some other companies that we're working on. You'll see products we'll bring into the marketplace from some of their technologies. So dust is a patented biocomplex inclusion carrier technology. And where we first brought it out is to be simply the replacement for talc and graphite that's cleaner, safer soy. We knew and we knew it, that it would be a great carrier for biology. And, you know, you saw a great launch with Terracin plus dust last year, and that product was on over 100,000 acres, and it'll expand to hundreds of thousands of acres into this new year. The liquid in furrow applications, we see those as an important way, but maybe 30% of the planters have that as ability. So farmers are looking for an option, but they're like, I don't have liquid in furrow. And so rather than maybe having to, in the moment, help them get into that system, we can go back to the seed applied, the planter box, or move ahead to a potential foliar application, okay, to get them going. And so sometimes with liquid in furrow applications, you got to be concerned about your micronutrients. Or if somebody's running 10-30-4-0 with high salts, what do you do about that? You add some water, or maybe we're like, hey, let's just leave that alone and let's approach these other areas. And so really can expand the use and the acreage that we can get on with the farmers by going beyond a liquid in furrow option. So moving into the foliar types or the soil applications, you know, those are ways of delivering that are going to give us some results, and may fit the operational aspects of what the farmer's looking at. And people have been asking, and we have some limited data we're trying to get together that we are seeing on a field-wide anecdotal and some testing done with some of the a few plots we've put out, that the stacking of these biologicals may be beneficial in terms of getting results for the farmer. So just kind of a summary or things to visit or think about is, and thanks to Steve and the guys over at Dakota Bio, got a little nice matrix to think about here. Again, we'll kind of summarize agronomic benefits, operational benefits, and economic benefits. These are the things that we look at as we go forward. So, you know, I'll throw a couple other things up here for you to think about. Dust helps seed move through the planters, and operationally, you know, there's something here that we can put the biology in and give the ability for someone to deliver. Any farmer can put this material on. Here's an application of Terracin plus dust or other inclusions that we could do. Basically, Scott Brocklesby took his J&M, load, unload auger, swung it out, set the box on top, the bottom, we shook in the Terracin plus dust and run it into the box sitting on the other box. He had all his seed that he was using this on pre-treated. And if you look at the nice job that it did. You see all the white spots. So we had an excellent inoculation and seed lubricant performance there for him for planting, and got this all done ahead. This is something that you as seed dealers can also do for your farmer ahead of time, so that it's ready to go. I'll throw up a quick slide here. Here's an example of some agronomic benefits that we see. So with INFX, microbes in this mix provide more rooting, bigger plant health in terms of the stalk strength and so on. And we're seeing greater yield, obviously. Here's an interesting um, uh, when we think about it, we have these different agronomic benefits, and one of them is improved heat tolerance. So OnFX is a product that I've never heard anyone come to me in the industry and say, "Hey, we can help with heat tolerance with a microbe that changes the pH and activity in the plant to uh, uh, lower canopy temperatures." And here's an example of looking at 88 degrees in this part of the canopy untreated, where you have an 82 degrees, and Tony Hagen has seen as much as 20 degrees in some cases with helping. So these are the kinds of things that we've, in essence, searched out and have worked on to bring this lineup to you as we go through the season to sit down and help with. So with that, I want to kind of break out here, and we'll go through some of the vendors to get introductions as we go forward. And what we'll be doing is in the sessions for trainings in the future, we'll bring the New Leaf Terracem group on, have those types of trainings as we go, um, and have them on a single session. So I want to make these introductions, and then just know as we go forward, we'll kind of dig down into specific products with them, and then get that key pieces of information over the next month or so for you to have and be able to approach your customers as we go in through the selling season. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a moment and bring on Shandy. Are you? Shandy, are you available for a minute to introduce yourself? There she is. All right. Good morning, Shandy. Shandy is with YMS. I'll let you introduce yourself, and I know you have to run to an important appointment.
Yeah, thank you for that. Hopefully my face isn't too close to the screen. I can't tell because I'm in my
You're
truck.
good. You're good.
um, I'm Shandy Bernalino, account manager for YMS in the Illinois, Indiana area, and a little bit more than that if need be. So we work with NewFields Ag, their preferred partner of ours. So they help us, we help them. Mutually beneficial partnership with those guys, and we really appreciate that. So we also look at things. We actually don't manufacture any products, so we kind of consider ourselves a marketing company. So we also look at products and say, do they do what they say they're going to do, and do they provide the grower an ROI? So that's how we look at things, and we put those products through our own proof of concept trials. And then, if they prove out for us, then we start distributing them, and then they make it into the catalog. So again, I represent the product in Vita, Soy FX, Ion FX, Crown FX. We have some soil applied, seed applied, foliar and in-furrow options. And it's been super exciting to talk about biologicals and just have conversations with people. I felt like last year it was really fun to have conversations. This fall has been even more exciting. I guess what I'm telling you is I think the opportunity out there is massive. And it's just out there for us to go and get if we want to. So I'm here to support in any way I can. I can help. I can help in person. I can help on the phone. I can help via Teams meetings, whatever we need to do. I'm available to help you guys with whatever you need.
Andy, thanks for that. On your own farm, can you give us a quick testimonial on Invita and SoyFX and some of the results you've seen? And it's one of those things where Shandy works for a company that's bringing innovations. Their farm is a large farm in central Illinois, and as we all know, with family, friends, and spouses, we sometimes have to prove ourselves. But Shandy, if you'll say a couple of things.
Yeah, so we actually had a friend of the family selling the product that got my husband and his brother to try some Invita a couple years ago. High yielding soil, and we stacked on anywhere from 8 to 13 bushel on that corn on corn the first year, and they were excited about what they saw. Ironically, I ended up working here at YMS and representing that product, which is super exciting. Again, as Michael says, sometimes family is your toughest sell. So I will say we don't have any true actual checks, if you will, in each field, but we did do some side-by-side things, like where, my father-in-law owned one side of the lane. We farmed the other side. We treated with Invita. He didn't. And I'm not just saying this because I represent the product, but we saw anywhere from like 5 to 25 bushel difference, and that got his attention. We applied ours foliarly. And then, as Michael was talking about, he actually had a conversation with my husband. We had some ground that we got that really had been, for lack of a better term, I think the soil had been raped for many years. And so there wasn't a lot there to work with. And so Aaron was kind of asking him what he thought. So he was going to throw everything in the kitchen sink at it. So those beans did have fungicide also, but we did Soy FX and Invita on those beans, and they were significantly better than the beans across the road that did not get any treatment, like 25 bushel better. I mean, we were cutting 87 bushel beans there, and they were hoping to get in the 40s on this soil. So super exciting. And yeah, they're listening, because it was exciting to see what they got out of what they put on. Is that kind of what you're looking for, Michael?
Yeah, great job, Shandy. Appreciate it. And we'll look forward to chatting with you as we go through the season here. Shandy is available for calls with farmers, and she participates at the farm shows with us. And so she's just one of the many good faces at Yield Master Solutions. You'll see more as we go forward that really partner with us and have brought us innovative products from the manufacturers. So thank you, Shandy, for that.
Yep, really appreciate it. Looking forward to working with everybody.
All right, I wanted to bring up just a couple of items here. I'll share my screen again. And as we go through and we are looking at improving, improving our training and the information. Here's an example product profile on INFX. It kind of gives you the modes of actions, the benefits, and so forth. We're going to have these start showing up where we can easily explain to a farmer that sorry there, hit the wrong button for a second. Easy to help explain the benefits to the farmers as we go forward. A couple quick slides. We're seeing about 3 bushel advantage here for Soy FX. And one thing I want to bring up for you just to look at real quick. This is a product, Soy FX, that I've not seen anything in soybeans before from a new innovation that can do this kind of activity to a plant, where we can take and we can make the soybean plant put on more branching and this many more pods. So really excited about that. On some of the other products, we're seeing nice returns, 7-8 bushel on INFX and Vita, 5 to 35 bushel results in terms of when we look at side-by-sides. And so we'll have more forthcoming data as we go through the season for you to take a look at. So I want to move on over to Steve Vistad at Dakota Bio. Steve, if you want to come on here ahead of time, I'll spotlight you. And then Roger, if you don't mind, will you take your camera off? And I appreciate that. Not Roger Bowman, Roger Harrington. Sorry. So Steve, go ahead. I'll put you in the spotlight and let you just give a quick overview of how you help us out.
Yeah, absolutely. You can hear me and see me, Michael?
Gotcha. Yes, sir.
All right. So yeah, my name's Steve Visted. I'm with Dakota Bio. I lead the sales team. So we really enjoy working with Low Mutech and NewFields Ag. Great bunch of people, as you all know. That's why you're here and you work with them. But we really focus on bringing these new biologicals to solve problems, kind of like what Michael was saying earlier. Uh, we don't focus on these large blends of different biologicals like we see in the market. We really pride ourselves in understanding what does that microbe do in the plant? What does that microbe do in the soil? How do you benefit? Because then the decision is yours. What problems do you have? What do you need help with? And which products can help get you to the next level? So we really focus on knowing and understanding these biologicals because it's confusing. It's just the new frontier. I had a guy tell me not so long ago, because we've all heard the line, in a teaspoon of soil, there's 5 billion microbes. We've all heard that. But what people don't tell us is science today understands about 0.5% of those microbes. So it's really the next frontier. And we just do a lot of research and a lot of discovery to understand more and to learn more and bring those opportunities to the market. We are in the fermentation business. So when I say that, that means, we ferment, we grow the bacteria, we custom ferment for many companies in the industry and in other industries. And we really pride ourselves in this high quality, fresh, live product in biologicals, because that's what improves the chance of success on your farm. So we've been growing rapidly. We got several new account managers working for Dakota Bio. So please reach out to us. We'd love to educate you on our products, and if our products aren't right for you, uh, maybe we can help you find whatever solves that problem you want to find. But Ron's on here, and we got Todd up in the Dakotas. We got a new guy coming on soon in the South Dakota. We got a new gentleman in Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, Chris, and we got a new guy, Bob, out on the East Coast. So just wherever you're at, give us a call, and we'd love to see if we could help you out. What else should I mention, Michael? Oh, I can't hear you.
Yeah, gotcha. Steve, thank you for that. Appreciate those comments. And middle of next month, we'll have Steve and his team on to do a training here for us, specifically to go through those products like the B4 product has 3-4 years of data on it. That's just phenomenal workhorse type of product. Phenom, the ability to add to seed in furrow foliar, a nitrogen fixer with a phosphorus solubilizer. And also, just maybe mention your new product, DB25, and what we see with that.
Yeah, we actually have 3 new products coming to market this year. DB25 is something that we're very excited about. That is still working on a patent on that for the formulation. So it's a new, unique biotechnology coming to the market. So what it is, it's an enzyme produced by bacteria. So there's been beneficial microbes and bacteria sold in the marketplace, and they're the carrier of this enzyme and the production of this enzyme. And we've discovered a way to take that enzyme off of that bacteria, super concentrate it, put it in a jug, and sell it as a product. So it's an amazing new product and new technology that really helps plants manage and recover from stress and increase nutrient efficiency, because it's affecting that plant at the mitochondrial level. Another new product is, like Michael mentioned, B4. It's the most favorite product I've had in my whole career, but we are coming with an organic version of B4 that is right there in performance in the field with B4. So we're really excited about that because it just got the OMRI registration. DB29 is a biostimulant that is a product that feeds and invigorates soil bacteria. So kind of for this market where there's a lot of sugar additives and carbon additives to starter fertilizers to be beneficial to the microbes in the soil. And those are good products and they work. But the difference with DB29 is this is a special recipe used by our microbiologist in fermentation for the last 20 years. And what we see is a much more stable and longer performance in the soil to feed those microbes. Not the where a lot of these sugars have a spike in activity and then they run out of that sugar and food, and so you have a drop in activity. We're extending that window all season long for a more stable, longer lived benefit. But yeah, DB29, DB25, B4 organic, all new things coming to the market that we're really excited about.
Steve, thanks for that update.
Thank you.
We look forward to your discussions as we go forward. Steve did a real good program yesterday that he's going to send over to us, about an hour and a half, that goes through the lineup there that we bring in with them. And so we'll have that available also to post as we go forward. So
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. And then Ron and the rest of the team are going to be available to help us at the farm shows and to do grower calls and focus calls and come in to help support you as a reseller. So Roger Bowman, I think you're up next with the on the New Leaf side of things. And Roger's a new addition to the team at New Leaf. You folks haven't seen him yet, but you will be if you haven't already. And we're very thankful for Roger's commercial agronomy experience here and coming into New Leaf. So we'll let him speak for just a few minutes and tell a little bit about what he's done and working on. Roger, I need to find you on the screen to make you. Is your camera on, sir, this time?
I think it should be off. I'm driving down the road, so I'm just going to take a few seconds and then
All right.
off so the noise is not too much. But
No, we're good.
I am Roger Bowman. I'm the agronomy lead with New Leaf Symbiotics, and our focus is on methylotroph bacteria. We own 12,000 strains in our library at the moment, and it's kind of our focus is the discovery, production, formulation, and delivery of methylotroph bacteria. It's kind of been a passion of mine for the last several years. I came across it at another job. We were terribly excited. We thought it was the best thing we'd ever seen. And then to find out that New Leaf already had it and was commercializing the product. So when the opportunity came along, I jumped on it to join New Leaf. It's not a fix-all product. It's not going to be 35 bushels, but it is going to increase your nutrient use efficiency and your nutrient uptake in the plant. It's what the plant naturally uses as a symbiotic relationship to get more of your fertility into the plant and overcome some of the abiotic stress. So my throat's also giving out of me. So I'll just say appreciate the opportunity. We'll probably get in touch and more in depth on the product later. But thanks for inviting me this morning.
Roger, thank you. And Allison and some of the other team will come on probably next week. We'll look at the New Leaf team to hold this training with us for about an hour and go through some of this key information. Everybody wants to see the yield information. We have initial information coming in, 75% win rates. On average, we're seeing on the 450 on corn, we've seen as little as some losses, one zeros or one gains up to 7, 8, 9, 10 bushel with that product performing real well, as you can see on my screen. Here we've got an 80%, 6% win rate. It's very high. A little surprising on that. We like that. But again, our standard, if you think about our standard, is a 75 to 80% win rate with a 2 to 3x ROI is how we kind of say that we want to vet and bring a product in. And some of these products are doing really well. So seeing 2, 3, 4 up to 15 bushel but we're going to tell you to just kind of expect an ROI of potentially, 5 bushel. On the nice data coming in from the YMS team, and they looked at this product in that northern geography, north central geography. Their trials on corn showed a 75% win rate with about 7 bushel. And then on the soybeans, 7 locations, 100% win rate with an average of 6 bushel. So in those northern latitudes with both those products, seems like the Terrasim pink methylatropes that we have are fitting that geography very, very well. The one of the other things that we're doing with the group at Terrasim is getting into some commercial field trial analysis. For those of you who have data and can yet get us data, we keep asking and asking for yield data to help form these conclusions for you to take to your farmer, because they want yield data, and we're going to ask you to help us make yield data in the next year also. These Derek Evans has created a really nice user interface to be able to take a look at performance of products. If you can get the machine data from a farmer with side-by-sides or information with the Terrasim products or maybe stacks that you've done, we would ask that you help us get that data in and get those files over. We'll get them to Derek at New Leaf, and he will help generate some precision analysis for us. I'm just showing you a few things where he goes through and helps with saying, hey, what happened in these different yield management zones? What were the treatments? What came out ahead? And then and the idea is to give us this better context for knowing and recommending and seeing the results. And one thing I want you to know is when we get into some of these biologicals, there might be a 1 to 3 bushel advantage on corn or soybeans. And many people, with the way that their monitors work or are set, do not necessarily see that 1 to 3 bushel gains, which is still significant return on investment. And so when you get some farmers who say, hey, I didn't see something, I didn't really see an ROI, we'd ask if you could get that data out of the machine. We'll get it over to New Leaf and have them do some analysis, because they're able to pick up problems with data that may be able to figure out and show the difference of what's happening. We'll look to those the group there for helping us as we go. You'll see some new introductions from us as we go forward in our catalog, and want to let you know we're going to print on another edition of our catalog. For those of you who are new, I'll just share my screen here. We put together a nice full color catalog for you to help sit down and talk with your farmers. And you'll also see our new website, the NewFields Ag website, along with the Low Tech website now, where we have full capabilities. I would say in the next few weeks, you'll begin to be able to go there and pick out products and data sheets and so on. But Shane has helped us and done a nice job of bringing in the catalog. One of the things that we've done to help you is put these little icons on the sheets, on the edges of the paper, to help you know if something can be a planter box, a seed treatment. So you'll see this is targeted for planter box on the Terrasim Plus Dust. So we've got a full catalog. We've added some really other innovative products, and you'll see us with some foliar types of products to go into the new season. I just want to mention here at the end, we've added an interesting couple of products to fill some spaces and help out. BAC Ag is a botanical microbial cleaner that is food grade for dairy, in terms of food safe. Can use it in dairy facilities, hog facilities, animal processing facilities. But what you've got is a product that's not it's not a peroxide, it's not a bleach type of product. It's a blend of botanicals that can help capture and kill viruses and can help clean up problems on the farm and in different types of facilities. So if you have some hog farmers, the turkey farmers or chicken farmers that are having problems, want to get cleaner, this falls under our cleaner, safer, greener mantra that we're using in our tagline as we go forward. And then we've had some good success with this Big Shot Maxim. Jerry Bond out of Pervasive out of Atlanta has given us the opportunity to market this for ag. But we have a botanical blend, cedarwood, cinnamon, thyme, and many other types of essential oils that can help with controlling many insects in ag or around the farm, or mites, leaf hoppers, and so forth. And so can help with stopping some of the vectors in animal production. And we introduced this through the last summer and had many people trying it and starting to get reorders on it. So we'll train on those as we go along, but just want to bring that up to you. And then as resellers, if you have an interest, we could, and you would like, if you would like copies of this catalog with your name on it, we have the ability on the front or the back to, brand this in a sense to say that it's offered by you as a reseller. So talk to us about what that would be and the cost of that as we go forward. So as we're nearing the end here, we appreciate you listening and thinking about what we're doing. And thanks again to those who have done some early orders. We have our 2% early order and our 4% cash program going on now if you want to participate. So for those of you who have not, just get a hold of us or your business development manager, and get a hold of Dan, Amanda and John, or Chris Roberts, or Brian or I, and we'll just go through that with you and see what you might want to put on order to get going on the selling season. We'll be looking at shipping product in January or February as we go. Between the freezing and thawing cycles, we gotta watch that as we get stuff out when it's freezing for the safety of it. But look for us at that time. So I want to finish with if there's any comments by anyone or questions that you might have in the moment as we get going into the sales season. Please raise your hand, take yourself off of mute, and we're happy to chat here for a few minutes before we hit 9 o'clock.
Hey, Michael, this is Dan. Just to let everybody know on that catalog, NewFields Ag catalog, that's available electronically as well. So I've had quite a few requests from dealers, resellers on, hey, send me that, and I can share appropriate pages. So, and then just make sure guys know that, next Wednesday we're back together with some new information. So I'm sure you're going to hit on that as well, Michael.
That's great. Thank you for that. Yeah, we'll have the catalog also postable on newfieldsag.com to be downloadable, and also on lowmutech.com as we go forward. Anyone else have any questions or comments? We'll continue to send you out the invites. You're welcome to bring, a dealer onto this type of format. Or if you want to bring a retail customer on to listen and learn as we go forward, that's great also. We also want to offer to you that this kind of format works for you as a dealer or reseller. We would ask that you could schedule most any time with us, and your business development manager will get on here with you, and Brian and I will participate as we can. We'll bring in some of the different people like Steve or whoever that we can get to help us to do these meetings with you individually if you want to bring customers to this format. And then, for instance, Lauren Steinacker next week has about 40 people coming to a location in northern Wisconsin. We'll be up there on site helping him with those. Winger Ag over in Western Illinois is putting a meeting on towards the end of next week. And so schedules are filling up, but just know that we want to support you electronically by email, by phone, and in person, and do these kinds of meetings as we go forward to help move this process ahead.
Hey, Michael, real quick, one question in the chat box from Mike. Any update on Soy FX support from insurance companies reducing insurance premiums due to the hail recovery?
Yeah, so that there has not been progress that we've been informed of yet on that product at this time. But from the standpoint of performance, we're seeing the ROI there with that product. That as a standalone, we can see using it will provide you a benefit. So no new update on that at this time. All right, with that, please take a look. And if you don't have an invite for next week or are missing it, please get a hold of us, and we'll have this general calendar schedule going forward on Wednesdays. I would say that there'll be most Wednesdays throughout the sales season, all the way into March, mid-March or later March, that time frame that we'll be doing these functions. You'll see repeats in some cases of the information, and then new things as we introduce new products also. You'll see that come out, and just watch for the posting. We'll also begin to do, say, an email blast that could include the link to these webinars, so you get a reminder on that. But over time, if you just want to think about checking NewFields Ag here as we get into the latter part of December, early January, you'll see these things also pop up and post there. Until we get that far along, just request as necessary to your business manager or us to get you the link, and we'll get these posted up for you to take a look at and listen to again for training. Thanks for your participation, everyone. We'll sign off at this time, and hope to see you next week at the same time.
You have to click